So once a year, the Game Developers Conference, or GDC, gives us a little Christmas gift, or a late Christmas gift, I should say, and that is the state of the game industry. Yeah, this comes once a year, usually in January, and it covers the previous year. And so this actually just came out for the year of 2025. I'm still getting used to the fact that it's 2026, but yes, there are already a ton of different articles and stuff written on it because there's a lot of stuff in it. Basically gives a bunch of stats on it. So we have this right here, the State of the Game Industry 2025. I do have it linked in the description. It's one of those things you have to give like your email for, and then they'll send you a copy of it for free, it looks like. And I believe I did this last year for a video, and I just put this in, like I sent them my email, and I still don't have an email with the whole PDF. Just checked again, I still don't, and yes, I checked my spam, but thankfully there's a bunch of articles, like I said, that are written on it. Now, one major detail that was highlighted by a few people is that when they asked video game developers which platform most interests you right now as a developer, it turns out Xbox was not that popular. In fact, PlayStation and Nintendo were about 2 times more popular in choice compared to Xbox. So I got this from Video Games Chronicle, but this is just a direct screenshot from the actual report. So bam, we get this right here. Which platforms most interest you as a developer right now? And there are a bunch of different options, and it says choose all that apply, so people could pick, any one that they liked, that they were interested in. So by far, PC is in first place. 80% of developers said that they are interested in that platform. Kind of surprised it's not 100%. PC is just universal. I don't know why there would be no interest in that platform. Okay, but then you get the really interesting stuff here. So yes, 40% said PlayStation 5. Also 40% said Steam Deck they were interested in. And just below that, 39% said Nintendo Switch 2. And then you go down to exactly half of the PlayStation and the Steam Deck, and almost half of the Nintendo Switch 2. You got 20% of developers said they are interested in the Xbox Series X and S. That is huge. Well, actually not huge, kind of the opposite of it. That's a pretty big deal though. Yeah, it's not looking good for Xbox for that. I also want to throw this in there. Remember that Xbox has a handheld console. So the ROG Ally, the ROG Ally, that's about halfway down, a little more than halfway down. You can see that's sitting at 7%. Compare that to the Steam Deck, which is also a handheld. It's often compared to the new Xbox Ally, ROG, however you call it. So 40% versus 7%, that means the Steam Deck is actually more than 4 times more popular than the Xbox handheld. So yes, that is overall not looking very good for Xbox, at least just specifically for this question that they asked developers. Of course, I'm wondering why. Why were developers not interested in Xbox? I mean, recently it sounds like Xbox, they want to take on a multi-platform approach. I mean, maybe that would be interesting for a developer. I mean, that would be something that maybe they would like. Well, we do see this right here from the Video Games Chronicle article. It says, in a separate question, when asked what the top factors were for their company when choosing which platforms to release their game on, the most popular answers were audience reach at 78%, business model success at 44%, and discoverability at 43%. So I would only assume that a lot of developers maybe thought that Xbox wasn't looking too hot right now on their audience reach and or their business model success and or their discoverability. Take that as you will, but yes, overall, one would kind of think that PlayStation and Xbox would and maybe should be pretty much neck and neck when it comes to if developers want to work for them or with them or have any interest in them, but it turns out only about half as many developers that are interested in PlayStation and Nintendo are interested in Xbox.